Sustainability is key to the growth and development of a nation, organization, or a corporation. On the discourse of the keys to attaining sustainability, financial and political players discuss on how this can be achieved and how viable it can be.
I believe that we need adventure and exploration. And if we forget what it is, we should see in the 20th century how people have been able to go on the moon, to fly, to go to the Everest Mountain, to go to the North Pole, the South Pole, the Marianas Trench, and the sea. Why did this happen? It was not a new idea. You know, it was not a new idea. It was a dream of humankind for thousands of years. But thousands of years ago, it was supposed to be prohibited to fly like the gods, to live on the high mountains like the gods. And nobody tried, although they could have, because the first airplanes that were flying were made out of cloth and wood. It means that the Egyptians, the old Babylonians, could have flown if only they had tried, if they had hoped to be able to do it. And in the 20th century, people just threw away all these old beliefs and said, we can fly, it's not only for the gods, let's do it. And this shows that innovation is not a new idea. Innovation is an old belief that we throw overboard. And if we manage to do that, then all the dreams can come true. And in our world, you know, we're afraid of the unknown, we're afraid of the changes. But if we manage to think beside of our beliefs, you know, to identify our beliefs and to try something else, humankind can achieve absolutely unbelievable success.
I would like to say this, that for me, I think in many developing countries and here in Nigeria, what is missing in terms of sustainability is a lack of focus on building institutions. I do not think you can have sustainable leadership in the absence of the sound institutions which take the country forward. And I think that our leadership here in the country and on the continent is too much focused on personalities and not on systems, on processes, and on institutions that can really take the country to the future. So when you say, you know, what is it? You know, how do you see this going forward? I think that we need to refocus our attention if we want sustainable leadership, not on the personalities. Yes, they matter, but more on have they left institutions, systems, processes, and have they groomed the human capital that can take all this forward? Because that is the bedrock of getting the country to move. And if you ask me, what is the difference between us, or a lot of developing countries, and the developed ones on this question of sustainable leadership, it is that absence of institutions. And my usual test is to ask people if they know who the president of Switzerland is. How many people know?
Okay.
One? Are there any others? Who knows?
It's very dark, but I don't see many hands going up.
Okay. See, nobody knows who the president of Switzerland is. But everybody rushes to invest in Switzerland and to try and put their money there, don't they?
Hands up.
You see, that's the trick. Because essentially this country has institutions and systems that the world believes in. And people are willing to go there and put their money without caring who is in the leadership, because over time they've built this up and they've built trust. So that, to me, sustainable leadership is creating institutions, creating trust, creating the systems and processes, and having the human capital to carry on.
I think that you can look at the structures and the processes of governance, and you can also look at the kinds of opportunities that people have to basically take advantage of political office for personal gains. But one way clearly is to continue the process of eliminating the avenues for rent seeking, issues around subsidies, issues around discretionary decisions that can be given. And this about, I think this goes to what Ngozi said about institutions. You have the laws, you have clarity, you have transparency, you have a level playing field. It becomes very difficult for an individual to take advantage of that situation to personal benefit. That's the first one. The second thing I think is very often we complain about public officers, but what kind of questions do we ask of them, and what kind of demands do we make of them? What are our priorities when we're choosing leaders? And the third is, again, going to what Ngozi said, there's the importance of that dynamic between institutions are very important, individuals also are. You have a state, you have a ministry, you have a central bank, you have a presidency, you have a government. The institution is there, the law is there, the constitution is there. But no matter how strong an institution is, a weak leader weakens it. It's only as strong as the leadership. So you need not just to have the institutions, but we need to make sure that we have the right fit. If you have a finance minister who doesn't understand finance, the ministry is not going to work. And so it's important to match the person to the role and make sure that in everything we focus on merit, and he must believe in that institution and its long-term survival.
The governor and the minister have highlighted the importance of institutions, which I agree with, of enlightened leadership, which of course I would also agree with, and with a vision, the minister said. And the vision has to be there. We have heard about that from Ike in the previous session, the importance of having a vision and sharing it forward. But what the minister addressed here is also critically important, friends, because we cannot expect governments to do everything of themselves. The government's long-term scenario is the next election, period. The government's long-term scenario is the next election. So it behooves us in civil society and in business to come together, understand and realize that development is too important to be left in the hands of government alone, and take action. And it behooves us to have a long-term plan, a long-term strategy of where we want to take Nigeria. Something that we can all embrace and come around about, identify ourselves, and move forward. Then the government can administrate that process in that direction. But to allow and believe that the government is going to do it all is a no starting position in the world of today.